What is up, guys? Welcome to Infusion's Kitchen. Today, I'm gonna show you how to do chicken Alfredo pasta. So, step number one, we're gonna pound the meat. So I got a nice little hammer right here, and I have chicken breasts. I'm gonna do 2 of them because it's for my wife and I. So we're gonna get started on that. The reason why I wanna pound it is because obviously right here, you see how it's thin, and over here it's thicker. They're not gonna cook at the same temperature, so we wanna make sure that this gets patted down. So let's get right to it. So up next, we're gonna do the seasoning, step number 2, after we're done pretty much with the meat. So I'm gonna show you how to create it. Now, brand to me really doesn't matter as long as the ingredient is what you want. So I'm gonna start off with about 2 tablespoons of minced garlic. And then we're gonna use some peppercorn, whole peppercorn. You can buy it already grinded, or you can grind it yourself. I'm gonna do about a tablespoon of that. So I got the spoon in there, that's how I'm more or less measuring it. I like to eyeball what I do. If you wanna weigh it, or scale it, it's up to you. I'm also gonna use some rosemary. This is gonna give it a nice fragrance to the chicken. I'm gonna add about half a tablespoon of that because it is very strong, so it's up to you on what you like. And we're gonna add some salt as well. And I'm also gonna do about, say, half a tablespoon to a tablespoon. Choice is yours again. I'm gonna add some onion powder. And that's gonna be about half a tablespoon to a tablespoon as well. And that's pretty much it. So all we do from here is pretty much mix it all together. That smells delicious.
I agree.
And then what we're gonna do is pretty much put that on the chicken. Again, put it in there. And then using your hands, you're gonna have to get dirty on this one, guys. So using your hands, you're gonna rub the chicken. That's what you're gonna do. Now I'm only gonna put this on the outer layer, or on just on one side. And I know that's kind of weird, you might say. But what I want is, I don't want the garlic to get too brown. I want the flavor to be in there, and I want it to absorb on the meat while it's cooking. So what I mean by that is that we're only gonna use this part on top, and then I'm gonna show you what I mean by that. So now we're gonna get it, and then we're gonna transfer them over. Now I already have all this prepped, so all I'm simply gonna do is drop it in there. You hear that noise? That's exactly what you want, guys. You wanna hear a good sizzle in there, because without a sizzle, you're not gonna get the nice texture and crunch. So we wanna make sure that we have that. Now I'm gonna cook it I would say about 5 to 10 minutes on one side. I'm just gonna keep an eye on it, and after that I'm gonna flip it, and I'm gonna raise the temperature. I'm also gonna add some butter to that, just to make sure I have a better flavor. I did put some oil in there, and the oil that I used was actually corn oil. Now if you were healthy, you can put avocado oil, you can use olive oil, whatever oil you have at your disposal. That's what I do. This is what I have, so that's what I'm doing. Now if you notice, I also already have the pasta cooked. I did not have Alfredo, so I pretty much used what I had. That was spaghetti. So I cooked it for about 10 minutes. I like it a little softer than firmer. So that's pretty much done. And then the next step, if you notice, I have this pan ready. And what we're gonna do is get started on the Alfredo sauce. So while that's cooking up, we're gonna go ahead and chop up some vegetables. And I'm gonna get started with sweet onion. I like the sweet onion. It's not too strong. This is gonna give it the nice fragrance that I'm looking for. That smell that, that you usually smell in the kitchen, and you're like, man, what's that person cooking up right there? Reminds you of home. Well, at least it does me. I love onion. And the thickness of it, or the cuts that you do with it, it's all up to you. I want them a little thicker, since I don't really plan to eat them that much. I just wanted to flavor the Alfredo itself. Now what I do want is for them to get caramelized. So that's gonna be our next step. We're gonna dump it in there. Now I already have it prepped with oil as well. Because I know you're not seeing me at oil, but I already have it. And again, that's what you want. You want to hear that sizzle. Now, if it doesn't make that smoke or that sizzle, you're not doing it right. High temperature always cooks best. That's how you're going to get your food hot the way you want it. Now, once we start adding the cream in there, I use heavy whipping cream. Once we start adding that in there, we're going to lower the temperature so it's not too sizzling. We don't want to burn the milk either. So that's that. And then the next thing that I'm going to add is butter. Well, I got the stick of butter right here. Again, I like to eyeball a lot. So when I go by measurements, that's about a tablespoon right there. 2 tablespoons. I'm only going to add 2 tablespoons in there. I'm a huge butter fan, so don't judge me. I like the way it tastes. And then we're going to continue doing that. Man, this smells delicious, guys. Again, the onion will bring out that nice smell to the dish. Now our chicken looks like it's simmered down, so I'm going to raise the temperature as well. I want to hear it boil. I want to hear it cook. If it's not cooking, if I don't hear it, it's not doing what I want it to do. Alright, so we're done with that. Now the next thing that we are going to do is start adding the milk to that. So I got the heavy whipping cream right here. So I'm going to go ahead and add that to the mix. Now I would say it's about 1/4 that I used of, what is this, 16 ounces. So I used about 1/4 of that in here. I just want it, and then you got to let it simmer down as well. I'm going to use a little bit more. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it evaporate so it can get thicker. And then once it gets thicker, we're going to go ahead and add some cheese in there. Now I do not have Parmesan at my disposal at the moment. But I do have queso Cotija, so I'm actually gonna reinvent the wheel a bit, but it still comes out good. Just watch. So check this out, guys. Look at this. See how it's showing all that foam? That's pretty much the milk. Now you don't want for it to stick, so just move it around. But once it starts doing that, you know the milk is evaporating all the water, and what you want is the fat from the milk. That's what's gonna give it the flavor. Now since it's already started doing that, it's time to add more ingredients. So again, I'm going to use about another tablespoon of garlic. And again, I like using minced garlic because it's already chopped up. It makes it easier for me. And I'm going to do about another, let's see, about some tablespoons of salt. Now, if you like it saltier or less salty, it's up to you. Again, everyone has their own preference when it comes to sodium. Now, rosemary, again, you want to use that. You want to sprinkle it in there. That's going to give it a nice aroma, a nice smell, and it complements the garlic really well. So, there you go. It's about a tablespoon of oil. And then we're going to go ahead and mix that. Now, I don't know if in the back you hear that chicken crackle, you can check it out for yourself so you can see how that looks, because we're about to turn it in a bit. Now, last thing, again, like I said, I mentioned queso Cotija. That's what I have. It's pretty similar to Parmesan cheese as well, texture and smell. So I'm going to use that, and I'm going to just dump it in there. I'm going to use probably a half a cup. Once it does that, we mix it again.
Also, that is not like our to-go cotija. There's better ones, but since the outbreak, a lot of things have been low on quantity. So we gotta use what we've got.
Now we're gonna flip it.
Now we're gonna flip it.
See that beautiful color it got? That's what we want. So now again, like I said, I cooked it for about 10 minutes. And on my stove top, I actually put it about 3/4 temperature, and that's how I'm getting it to that. Now, the thicker your pan is, the more seeds it will hold, and that's what you want. You want the thickest pan that you have at your house. That's what's going to give you that nice crunchy chicken. Now we're back to the Alfredo right here. Now see how it's getting thicker? How you can almost see the bottom part of the pan. So that's the thickness that we're looking for, guys. Now once we have that, I already have the pasta ready like I told you. So what we're going to do here is dump it. This is a can's worth. I'm sorry. And we're going to dump that in there. Now I do like to keep some pasta water. That way it can just help with the sauce. So I drain it right there from the pan. I don't really use a drainer. I just do it like that. And then what we're doing here, I'm just mixing it up. That is it. Oh my goodness, guys. If you were to smell this, well, you are going to smell this if you decide to cook it.
I'm smelling it. It smells good.
This is delicious, guys. It's on your way to eating Alfredo. And again, I'm not using the pasta used for Alfredo, so I'm using spaghetti. That's what I had. That's what I'm using. Pasta's pasta, guys. And then once we're done with the chicken, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how that looks. I'm gonna combine everything together. In the meantime, I'm only gonna put it to simmer the pasta because it's already cooked. That's the good thing about making your sauce and your pasta. You could always leave it aside. Once your chicken is cooked, combine them together, and you're ready to eat. I'm gonna add a tablespoon of butter on the top sides of the chicken. And the reason why I am doing that is because the butter is gonna melt, and I want it to melt on the top side so that it goes through the muscle fibers and makes the chicken more juicy and moist. Now, on the bottom, always make sure that you have oil, that the pan is good, because if you don't, what it's gonna do, it's gonna start burning up all the butter, and then it's gonna create just a nasty taste that you don't want. You want a creamy taste, not a nasty taste. So pretty much it. You can poke some holes in the chicken if you want, very little, nothing too much. You don't want to ruin the meat, but you want to let the juices sink in there. Yeah, I know I'm weird. I'm using a knife to layer this up, but who cares?
Who gave you that knife?
Oh, Dave gave me this knife. And let me tell you, what was it, $6?
It's like $7.
$7, and as long as I sharpen this knife, it's worth a $200 knife. No lie, it cuts like butter. So thanks, Dave.
You're welcome.
All right, so once we're done with that, again, I'm gonna show you the results, okay? All right, guys, so we're gonna flip it. This is the, what is it, third flip? The third flip that we're gonna do. Yep, see the color that the butter gives it. So you gotta let the butter and the garlic almost toast, and see how it almost looks ugly. That's why you gotta let it settle in there so it can toast up a bit, and so it can give the chicken the color, that bronze gold color that, well, I like. I hope you like it too. And we're almost done. I want to get it to the temperature of 160. That's where I'm looking to get my chicken. Yeah, so I'm gonna do it another 5 to 10 minutes, and we're done. Alright guys, so we're pretty much ready with the chicken. Check it out. Let's get some lighting on it. Oh, we're gonna place it in here. Look at that beautiful color, guys. Beautiful. Beautiful. That's exactly what we're looking for. You see how the pepper, the salt, the garlic, they're still crunching up. That butter, what you see right there, that's the butter. I don't know, do you hear that? So that's the crunchiness on it, and that's what we want. And what we're gonna do, normally, I mean, you can let it rest for 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, and that pretty much lets the juices sink in. You don't wanna lose any juices on your chicken. So I'm gonna go ahead and let it rest, and once it's done resting, I'll be back and I'll cut it. All right guys, so we're gonna go ahead and get started on the cutting. Oh, that is beautiful. See how it almost doesn't let me cut it? That's how crunchy it is from the top. Let's bring up the other one. Now the thickness of the chicken, on how you want it, it's up to you. I'm just gonna chop it up actually. So if you were in a restaurant, they would serve it like this. I'm just gonna chop it up a little bit more, just so it can mix in with the pasta. And I mean, I'm not really too careful on how I cut it. I want meat, I want to eat. So for me, this is it. It's good. Now, if I was presenting it, I would focus on presentation, but it's just us eating that. Now I'm gonna take this. Pull up right there. I'll be back. Right, so I actually have some chives as well. You just throw that in there. Then you can work on presentation. Just throw it in there. Damn, look how beautiful that looks, guys. And that pretty much concludes it. Let's bring it into the light. And this is the finished product, guys. It's the Alfredo. Infusions Alfredo. Simple ingredients, nothing too extravagant. I mean, it is what it is. It's good food, it's comfort food, and you don't gotta go anywhere to eat this. You just make it at home with the simple basic ingredients that you already have. So again, thanks for watching, guys. It's been a pleasure. If you have any ideas, any videos, any recipes, anything that you want to see out there, let me know. I'll make it happen. I can make anything happen. Alright guys, thank you. Stay tuned in for the next episode, okay? Bye.